Good afternoon. My name is Scott Rutledge, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的直击美股，我是主持人张叔，在纽约向您问好。周二美股收跌，今天市场是遭遇了一些避险情绪，我们看到日元推涨，而美元呢也是有一些回调。今天主要影响市场的是来自昨天中国隔夜发布的制造业采购经理人指数，4月份数字显示是49.4，而相比3月份是有所下降。这数字已经是连续第14个月低于50，显示制造业正在收缩当中。另外一方面，我们看到美国本土的亚特兰大联储主席 Lockhart 他也是谈到了关于美联储加息的策略。他认为今年美联储会有2次加息，但是到目前为止依然没有看到美国的经济活动以及包括像通胀率的数字有非常的稳健的一个增长，能够提供给加息以支持。好的，更多的消息，让我们来看一下今天交易员的独家分析。Hi Scott, your stocks traded lower as investors piled into safe haven assets, for example, yen. And China just posted a weaker than expected manufacturing data, and that definitely raised some concern over the global growth. So how do you think about the market? Do we break the ascending channel already?
Yes, we did. Last week we talked about 2081 in the S&P breaking, and then yesterday you had your retest, and then today was your sneaky move lower.
Okay.
Now you just said China with some faulty numbers. We've had some bad earnings reports here. The earnings season hasn't been that exciting. So up at that upper resistance, market's starting to falter. If you look here at the chart of the SPX, you'll see this is last year's highs. So we got pretty close to those highs without great economic news. This is where we failed. So the question is, the momentum that we've had ever since we reclaimed the 21-day moving average right here, is it leaving? How do you measure whether or not it's leaving? Whether this ascending channel breaks? I like to get rid of my risk or get out when the ascending channel breaks, so this way you could test lower levels. And as of right now, we're trying to hold this 2052. If you take a closer look here, you will see for the first time since, what is this, February 22nd, we are now pretty comfortably below the 8-21 day that's rolling down. Here, it was rolling to the upside, now rolling down. So I do think this market could be vulnerable to see, a bit of more of a move down towards the 2030 to 2025 area. But, this is the first level of support that it's going to have to get below for that.
Okay, and also despite Apple gains, we see Nasdaq force for 1%. And yesterday you mentioned that Amazon and Facebook and Apple, they're in two totally different leagues. So if our viewers, they want to get out of Amazon and Facebook, what's the level to watch? And also speaking of other stocks, how do you think about this sector?
Well, tech sector has been the weaker sector. 2 weeks ago you saw, bad earnings or poor earnings in Google and Netflix and Microsoft, lots of holes in the charts. We talked about that. And we just went over the ascending channel that just broke, a few days ago in the spiders. Well, in the Qs, it happened almost 2 weeks ago. So that gave you a cautionary signal. Look at this. The 8-21 day was lost over 2 weeks ago. And now this is below the 200 day. So at this point, technology is under pressure. So the question is, with the Qs on the right side of its ascending channel below the 200-day, can, like you mentioned, strong stocks like in Amazon hold up? So if you were in Amazon, I would say trade versus this level. This is your stop. This gap needs to hold in order to keep momentum here. Facebook also, in order for it to be one of the only stocks that are showing upward momentum, it's going to have to hold this big gap. So I would be trading it versus here, and then if the market gets some footing, maybe it increases to the upside. Finally, I talked about being long Apple with you yesterday, remember? And it got a little bit of a move. So at this point, if you're long it, I would put your stop in around 92 to 92.50. I think there's a small chance that it could hit this area, but there is some talk that they lost some of their patents on other devices besides the phone. So we'll see if that comes out and if it affects the stock. But ultimately, got a small little oversold bounce, but far from out of the woods.
And also oil closed lower for 3 consecutive days. And does that concern you? And also, speaking of gold, we see some signs of risk-off environment. So does that viable?
Well, you have to trade these ranges. And oil down 3 days in a row. So if oil's down tomorrow, I would maybe look to see if you could be a buyer of oil if you sold strength. These ranges are what traders navigate. And I showed you the USO saying it was a little overbought when it traded above this level and couldn't hold. So this is below the 8-day, but trying to hold the 21 days. So I would think that this level could be a spot, to watch very closely. So let's see if this area holds. The XLE, I'd like to see it hold. This. Look at that. I talked about this in the morning call today, saying, you could see a move down to here. So we'll see if this holds. This is very important. And for gold, I sold it like we talked about yesterday. It still looks okay. The chart has been phenomenal. This is when I added to my longs and sold some, and now we'll see if this prior breakout area holds and the moving averages play catch up. I'm still in my call spread, but I'd wait to see if the dollar gets any stronger and what effect that has on gold and whether it comes in or not, because there is a small chance that the dollar that had an engulfing day, might have been a trend change. Okay, from all the way up here to down there, you went below a prior low, closed above a prior high. That's a signal to cover some shorts in the U.S. dollar, and maybe it could, give it a little bit of an upside move there.
Okay, that's all we have for today.
Yes, and I would say, keep tuning in because the action is very fast, and you want to, in this type of environment, be, quick on your feet.
好的，感谢您的收看，我们明天再见。